Teachers 20. 20 minutes of chat and inspiration brought to you by the Creativity Academy. Now, we provide a full academic year of workshops and visits to encourage creativity in young children right here in East Lincolnshire. We're currently working in 3 schools. Now, you can find out more about us by going to creativityacademy.org.uk, and you'll also find more information on our Facebook page, Creativity Academy Lincolnshire. Now, last week, I met up with Andy Rain from Lincolnshire Music Services at Chapel Primary School in Chapel St Leonard's. It's one of the 3 schools we're working at this year. Lincolnshire Music Services have a project called Singsation, which the children were part of. And I think it's just fantastic when we can get children involved in music. It's such one of those overwhelming arts that involves every part of them. They can dance to it, they can sing to it, and they can make noise, and out of it can come some really beautiful music, which I was able to observe on the day. I caught up with them after rehearsal to find out what all this was about.
So, the Lincolnshire Music Education Hub has a remit from central government to provide singing opportunities for all students, and we try to engage with every single student that we possibly can. This year we're really pleased that Chapel St Leonard's have really embraced the music service, which are the lead organisation within the hub, and so we're providing a lot of curriculum support and music clubs within the school here. So one of the core roles is to provide singing opportunities for all children, but it's sometimes quite difficult. So we've got 10 events across the year in all the 5 different regions of Lincolnshire: East Lindsey, Boston, South Holland, all the other ones, West Lindsey. And so we've got 2 in each area, and we just want to engage children with some great music, somebody that they can link to who is in the here and now, such as with Hayley Sanderson from Strictly. She's relevant, the music is relevant, it's up to date, and it's something that they don't all have to always go to, but the music can be brought to them. So part of me coming in and assisting with the children today is to make sure that they can get the best out of the experience when Hayley and the live band is in next week. So there isn't too much time spent drilling down on the nuts and bolts of it, so that work is all pre-done and they can enjoy what singing's meant to be.
What I'm impressed with is you're not taking any prisoners there. Some of that music is not particularly easy, is it?
Not at all.
Whose idea is that?
Hayley and her husband have been tasked with arranging the music with specific remit that it has to be current, and current songs aren't easy, so the key's been changed to make sure that it fits a primary school voices and doesn't go too low or doesn't go too high, otherwise the children will shy away from it. So it's in there, but the rhythms are tricky. But if you don't push the children and say, this is how music is, it's hard, but when it's hard and it's done well, you will enjoy it more than the simplicity is sometimes created around music. And no, absolutely, no prisoners. It just really, this is how it is, and sing it to the best of your ability, and you'll have more fun with it.
Tempting to see that when you set quite a complicated high bar, that a lot of people make a great effort to reach it, and if you keep it low down, everything's fine there too.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because what impressed me with what you've done in there is that they're singing with strong voices. Because you were talking to them about the small voice. Is it the small voice that I asked for earlier, or was it something else? How do you push that through? When I see performances of children, the thing that saddens me the most, and I have to say it does, emotional a word, but it does when it's tiny. And it's delicate. How do you actually give them the confidence to get that volume going?
I think that the way we've structured this with giving them actually quite a short amount of time to work towards this event has worked quite well in our favour, actually, because they know it's got to be quite intensive. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out process that they're going to have to sing these songs for months and months on end. And sometimes with certain events, and even to project work, if it's too drawn out, the enthusiasm goes. So it's quite short-lived, and they've only got this one chance. And I think it kind of enthused them enough to say, you've got one chance at this, and there's people that you might want to impress. Give it your all.
It would also be true, of course, that the majority of them have never been in the presence of a live band, let being supported by a band. That's a big thing, isn't it?
It's really huge. One of the things the music service did a couple of years ago was to try and make sure that there was a live music experience in every one of our membership schools. So we came out and gave some kind of performance from live musicians, because you're absolutely right, they don't hear from live musicians unless the parents have taken them to around here, maybe the Embassy Theatre, maybe the grammar schools or the other academies, to see any professional events. And those experiences are, one, they're quite expensive if you could go as a family, and we are tasked with bringing that to them. And I'm really chuffed that we're here at Chapel St Leonard's doing this next week. So we've brought the music, like you say, to them, and it's professional musicians. These musicians will turn up and they'll perform brilliantly to a professional standard.
I think I was very lucky. The first band I was ever taken to see live, imagine this, live, was Led Zeppelin. Okay. My brother brought me, he was a student in university, and he brought me. It was at their, just as they became world famous, and it was in a 2,000 seater in Dublin. Wow. Anyway, but the thing that blew my head off, apart from the fact that it was Led Zeppelin, was that this is what I hear on the record. This is what I hear on the radio. And that's thrilling, isn't it? Yeah. Music is an incredible force. Tell me about how you get out into the communities and how you get into schools.
So my role is that I'm the partnership manager for the schools in East Lindsey. So I've got to oversee what happens music-wise for schools in East Lindsey. So we've got another 4 partnership managers who will see the Singsations go on in their particular areas as well. But I will probably go in and now vocally support some of the schools around the whole of Lincolnshire, because I've done it once and there's time in my timetable. And actually, I really enjoy coming out into schools. I don't do it enough now. We go into management and you don't touch base with the kids. I'm actually having a whale of the time coming in and spending some time
that was them. Obvious. I enjoyed that. They had a couple of great drama moments, and what I think too is that they respond so well when you're enjoying it. Really, it's so interesting, isn't it, how everything pops when they go, he's crazy and wild. We're safe, it's okay, everybody.
Those are the bits my wife tells me to tone down, but
not in the classroom. I didn't think that. I was a bit worried that I was intimidating you by sitting there scowling at you. I wasn't at all. No, I think it's great, and I was looking around at them, and they're giddy for this kind of interaction. What do you think happens after an event like this? You come in, you do Singsation, and then they're there and they have some enthusiasm. What do you think what should we be doing when we're creative and we come in like little ninjas?
It's a hard one, isn't it? 'Cause what we'd love is for all of them to have a memory, which I suppose a memory is something obviously in the past, but we want them to take the experience and go and do something with it. So what has inspired them about it? And it might not be the music, it might be the drama, it might be the tech, it might be the fact, I can't believe that man walking around with an iPad was controlling the sound out of all of this. So one of our new remits as a music hub is to show careers and progression. So I'm hoping that when I walk around and I speak to the children in the classes, that I tell them that it's not just about the front person, but there's a team of people and there's jobs and careers within that as well. So we'll be thanking the band on the day. So my hope is that they will go away and think that there's more to music than just that production of it, but the enjoyment and the thrill of it is there, and the live element is then actually they get a bit of an adrenaline kick out of it that makes them want to go on and do something, which I think this year, because we're here, will hopefully drive them into some of the other ensembles that we're running here in the school, and there's going to be some more stuff in this local area as well that I get up and running. So on the back of this, it's providing those opportunities that are local, but in future, again, bringing those professional opportunities into the area and keep that happening, because we're out here right on the East Coast.
We're in the prairie, the cultural prairie.
Yeah, we don't want to get forgotten about, and I don't want these children to be left just thinking that they're just on the periphery.
I agree.
They need to be brought in,
yes,
and hopefully this is what this kind of experience does.
Yeah. That's exactly what we wanted in Creativity Academy, was to bring things here, because 30 people on a bus, excellent, brilliant, but there's 150 people here. If we could find a way of getting good things here, and I think that's interesting, as you say there, you're looking to create the opportunity for something to trigger passion, and we have no idea who it'll be or when, or how it is, and they may not mention it for 10 years.
That's right, but it might be there.
And they'll go, what happened? And they'll go, this is a guy who came in and he was very animated.
That was it. We talked about chocolate macaroons. That was my memory. And I've always done music, but one of my key memories was going to a singing festival in Saltburn. So I'm from Redcar initially. And my mum gave me chocolate-covered coconut macaroons in my packed lunch. But just that I've remembered that association with that event that I went to. And again, hundreds of singers at something. And I remember the feeling, that kind of greatness, and the coach journey there, and the coach journey back. And that kind of made... And it stuck there.
That's amazing, isn't it?
So they may remember me being totally stupid today, and maybe next week.
But if they remember that, I don't know what it is that makes a memory. Your memory was two things together. Was a beautiful taste, and that's interesting, isn't it? The brain goes,
passion is food. Yeah.
Oh, I'm overloaded now. This is amazing. I've got to remember that. It was really excellent to see, and I look forward to seeing more of your stuff across East Lindsey, where we're going to be doing a lot of our work. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If you'd like to find out more about Lincolnshire Music Services, go to lincolnmusicservice.org. They're an award-winning music service provider. They give opportunities to children and young people throughout Lincolnshire. They're a lead organisation with the Lincolnshire Music Education Hub, and they're even funded by Arts Council England. Back to us, I think. This podcast is brought to you by the Creativity Academy. You'll find more about us at creativityacademy.org.uk. It would be really fantastic if you were to like and subscribe this episode, and then other episodes as they come in, you'll get a notification of it, and you could keep up with the events that are happening in music and various other things that are happening across Lincolnshire, right here on Teachers 20. Teachers 20 is a Creativity Academy production and is made with the generous support of Arts Council England.